Follow at But Would You and you'll be all right. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, family? Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, right? This is fine. The house is burning around us. Don't even trip. This is fine. We're gonna be all right. That's why we in here. We're gonna be all right. A little bit of a deep dive. I'm gonna touch short term, or not short term. I'm gonna touch briefly on the macro environment, right? What else is happening outside of crypto that's impacting our markets? And then I'm going to go into the Bitcoin charts really quick. After I do that, look into some tokens and kind of see where we stand. And then if there's any questions or anything like that, obviously you already know, we'll take care of those as well. If you could shoot me a follow, Twitter, Instagram. And then I did want to also mention that I do have, oh wait, let me pull this up. Let me go ahead and add this, John, right now. I do have a Substack now where I'm going to start writing out at least twice a month different topics and macro trends. My next Substack coming out is going to be on the macro trends, and I think it'll be a good one. So check that out. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Sorry for that a little bit there. So we got Bitcoin. I've been posting in my Discord a lot. Sorry, last thing. If you're not in the Discord, hop into my Discord. There's an invite link in the bio, in the description down here. And a cool feature that people don't use on Discord is the search on the top right. If you click this search bar and just search for any topic you want, right? Like say you want to know, they were talking about Solana and entries on Solana. So you just type in Solana up top here, you hit the search, and then it'll pull anytime Solana was mentioned. And then you can just click on that mention and jump right to it. Or, say you want to find out about like strong nodes. You heard about strong nodes. So you come over here, you just type in strong node, you search that, and then you have a whole bunch of times strong nodes was mentioned. So it's a great way to navigate through Discords and really get to the information you want and need. And if you have similar questions, they may have already been answered. So I just wanted to touch on that and kind of point that out for you guys. Might help out. Hey, so also shout out. We got Keon in the building. What's good? Corte in the building. What's good? Appreciate you. Appreciate y'all tapping in with me. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Let me get off of this Discord here. Let's go ahead and pull up the charts. I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller so you guys can see the charts better. All right. So first things first, we talked previously about a lot of this stuff here. I'm going to get rid of a lot of this stuff really quick. And we're just going to look at this as is. So this is Bitcoin on the weekly chart, right? So Bitcoin on the weekly chart, going back to, and I'm going to draw a line over here to get an idea. This was the end of 2020, beginning of 2021, this yellow line right here. Boom, boom, boom. Let me make this a little bit thicker. Boom. All right. So that was the start of 2021. Now we've talked about market structure before. And market structure, obviously, when you're putting in higher highs and then higher lows, then you're in an uptrend, right? And we can draw a really easy example of what that is. So we come in, we put in a high, then we put in a low, then we put in a higher high, right? And then we put in a higher low, and then we put in a higher high, and then a higher low, so on and so forth. And then obviously you can see what that gives us is just a nice uptrend, right? We're just trending up constantly. That's what you want to see. That's excellent. That's excellent. So higher highs and higher lows, aka great market structure. Then you have lower highs and lower lows. So the same thing but reverse. And we've talked about that previously as well, right? So if the asset was up here, comes down, it makes a low, and then it makes a lower high, it makes a new low, and then it makes a lower high, and then it makes a new low, and a lower high, and a new low, right? In the same situation, there we would be on a downtrend. In this situation, we'd be trending down. So that's market structure. Again, you can hop in the Discord, hit that search magnifying glass, type in market structure. We've talked about that in there previously. There's a bunch of good links that can help better explain it too if you need further. But that's going to be kind of the basis of what we're looking at. And I've been talking about this for a little while in the Discord in regards to market structure. So let's go ahead and I'm not feeling the orange today. Let's change it up. Let's change it up. We're going to go with pink. We're doing it. All right. So if we look back to 2020 going into 2021, you can see, let's pull this a little bit better. Let's start our market structure from March 2020. This was the pandemic. The pandemic. So March 2020, we started hitting back to this uptrend and we made a new high. This was our previous high. So we had to get above that previous high. So we came here and we got above that previous high. Perfect. So now we got our first high and we come down and we put in a slight low. Now I'm zoomed out a little bit, but if we kind of zoom in a little bit better here, you can see it a little bit better where we come up, we make a high and then we make a low and then we make obviously new higher highs, right? It keeps coming up, making new higher highs till we get our new high. And we come and put a new low right here. And we put in a new high, a new low, a new high. And then finally, market structure is broken right here. Okay, so I'm going to erase some of that and do it a little bit smoother just so everyone can keep up really quick. So again, we're making higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. Shout out to Terry. What's up, Terry? Appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate you. All right, so why are the higher highs and higher lows important? Again, that's the market structure. So let's go ahead and grab these arrows right here. And we have our market structure going up. And then we have it coming back down. And we close, see these candles close below these candles. That breaks market trend, gives us a lower low. And then right here, we come up and we get a lower high. So why is this a lower high right in this area? Because it fails to go higher than our previous, right? So this is our previous high right here. And this is a lower high. Now this market structure doesn't continue to play out because we actually bounce back above higher and we make a new higher high. But then we ultimately, where we're at currently right now, we fall back down and we make a new low past this, our previous lows. These were our previous lows and we created a new low. Now we're going to try to hold these lows, but to be honest, it hasn't been too great. Once we made this lower low on the weekly candle, this candle right here, which was January 3rd, that really broke market structure, signaling more downside. So just want everyone to be aware right now, we did break market structure. And how do we confirm that we're going to be now in a downtrend? Well, we have our lower low. And just like previous that we showed over here, we need our lower high. So where does our lower high would come in at? Our lower high would come in this area right here. All right, so let me go down to a daily and break it down a little bit smoother. So here we're on our daily charts. I'm going to go ahead and remove all these drawings. We're going to go ahead and do we have our low, we make a high, we make a low, we make a high, we make a low, make a high, we make a low, we make a high, we make a low, we make a high, and then right here, we get our first lower low, right? So I'm going to pause it right there. So hopefully everyone's able to keep up with us so far, right? We made a high, then a low, high, then a low, high, then a low, high, then a low. So we had market structure moving up in an uptrend, right? Which is, we can clearly see here, if we throw a trend line on and we just extend it out, we were moving up that whole time. And then right here, when we made our first lower low, and let's go ahead and zoom in there a bit. So this area, when we made our first lower low, was a signal that, hey, market structure looks like it's starting to break. We put in a high, then we put in a low, we put in a high, then we put in a low. So this is the low that we broke, right? And then we put in a high here, and then we came down, we closed below our previous low, these two, right? Once we closed below those two, it gave us a lower low. And now to confirm a trend reversal, or confirm that the trend is now down, we have our lower low, which let me go ahead and circle. And then we get our lower high. So previously we had our lower high and our higher high, and now we have our lower low and our lower high, confirming the downtrend here. And then we go into this downtrend for some time where we come down, we make a low, we make a high, we make a lower low, lower high, a lower low, and then finally we break it coming back up to this side. So hopefully that was, pretty clear for everyone. So that's going back of what happened from last month through June, through May. And now let's look at our market structure going into today. So we have our high, our low, then we come back up, we make another high, we make another low. Then we got a lower high and a lower low. Bitcoin didn't follow this market structure because we finally got a break back above. So it started a new trend. So we'll go ahead and do this new trend where we get a high and we get a low, and then we get a higher high, and then we start putting in lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. And now these are all, again, this is on a daily chart. And if we look at the weekly, we can see where it actually broke. Alrighty, so that's the market structure point, right? Higher highs and higher lows. Now, what is going to cause one of our biggest challenges for us to reverse market structure again is Jerome Powell signaling that the Fed would be selling off. Here's a quick summary of what their meetings previously, I think it was around January 4th. Fed policy is quickly winding down monthly asset purchases, and bank forecast centers around 3 rate hikes in 2022, which we've heard everyone talking about. He said that the Fed now looks, I'm trying to highlight this for you. He said that the Fed now looks to the balance sheet to run off sooner and faster, meaning that they're going to sell their assets sooner and faster, causing more fear in the markets. And then he anticipated further discussion in meetings coming to advance policy. Further discussion in coming meetings to advance policymakers' thinking on the subject and determine the best way to proceed and reduce holdings. So they're going to continue to sell. However, nothing is yet decided or determined. Like always, they don't give you exactly what's going to happen. Nothing has been decided or confirmed. So they have another meeting coming up on Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. And what happens in that meeting will most likely cause the markets to react in some type of form or fashion. So we should prepare for that. Now, why I mentioned the CME group is because I want to pull up the CME chart. Remember, Bitcoin futures being traded on the CME chart is different than other exchanges because the CME is only open from whatever their normal operating hours are. They're not opening 24/7, and I believe they close around like 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time Friday, right? So when you have the CME Bitcoin futures trading differently than the regular spot exchanges, you get these imbalances or inefficiencies. And I kind of circled a few here. So you can see a circle, a circle, a circle, a circle. And you can go back and we can kind of spot them out even without putting in the circles for them. And I'll just kind of mark them off. So you see here, that space, that gap, we would circle. That's an imbalance. We got another one here. And so how these, here's a big one. So how these imbalances are created are due to the fact that Bitcoin closes the day on the CME chart in one spot, and then it opens up in a different spot because of the market volatility of the weekend trading, right? So people see that on Binance, for example, Bitcoin crashed by $5,000 and it was just at 48,000. Well, now it's at 38,000. People are going to start selling off, or maybe it causes fear, or maybe people are excited about that and they buy back in on the CME when it opens on Monday morning. So let's go over to what's happening right now. And the reason why I wanted to point out those inefficiencies, because they are gaps that a lot of technical analysis people like to say are going to get filled, right? Those gaps are going to get filled. Eventually, Bitcoin will come back and fill those gaps. So if you can look here, you usually get bounces around those areas. Again, just pointing out the inefficiencies in the market, in the CME futures market. So I'm going to go ahead and take off this Fibonacci really quick. And let's just look at where some spots we might be able to catch some of those bounces. Let me pull up. Not the fib. Boom. Price. There we go. All right. So we have 32,000 as the bottom of where we could see the next bounce, right? So that's in confluence of this July 21st through July 26th imbalance right there. And if we zoom in, you can see it a little bit better. See that big gap, closed here, and then it opened here. So the price often will come back and try to fill that gap. So if you're super bearish and you're waiting to find out when you should get into the market, this could be a good idea for you to start looking at $32,000. And then we again talk about that market structure. Now, say you're over leveraged and you're kind of wondering how you can get out. Your portfolio is super down, and you want to know, you just want to sell everything and kind of forget about crypto for a minute. Well, it would be, obviously it's not financial advice, but in my opinion, you want to wait for a bounce, right? You want to wait for Bitcoin to either bounce here at around 35K where we're at now, or 30K. Get a bounce up to this next box, which will put us around 40, 42, and even testing these highs right here, which is about 47K to 42, 43K. because most likely what will happen is we will get a bounce. It may take a little bit. Say we go down here, we get a small bounce and come back up, and we'll test the top of this box. And if you are looking to exit the market, then that should be where you try to exit. Obviously, you always want to buy on red days and sell on green days. So wait for the Bitcoin bounce to then be able to get out of the market. So that was a little bit about market structure. What's up, Speed Chess? Barry, one of the mods in my Discord. I super appreciate him. Always dropping knowledge. Want to shout out to Barry. Now, again, if that's where you're looking to exit, then that's completely understandable. I'm staying in the market for now. I do think we'll get at least a solid bounce, and I have been buying during this time. So some of the projects that I am looking into buying, I'll get into in a second here. Give me one more. Let me finish with this market structure for Bitcoin. Where are we at here? Alrighty. So if we look at it on a weekly chart, it kind of blocks out some of the noise. Get rid of these, what do they call them? LARP lines, something like that. So I would be looking to either catch a bounce right here around 30K. Maybe we get a wick down to 27K. Worst, not worse, it could always go to zero, right? I think that's the title of this, Bitcoin going to zero. Worst case, it drops all the way down to 19 to 17, 18K, which I believe Ian, the master investor, had mentioned it going down there. And you know how nice he is with his calls. So you may want to double check and have some limit order set down there. But for now, what I'm expecting to see is a bounce coming soon between this 35,000 region and this 30K region. If we can hold those lines, and then we have to come back above and get above 51K to not make a new lower low. But if we do not break above this level, so let me go ahead and draw that out. If we do not break above this level, then wouldn't be the best sign, because that would basically confirm that we now have a lower low. And a lower high. We already got our lower low, and if we then put in a lower high, we would most likely be looking at something like this, where we come up here, and we cannot break above. We go sideways, and then we come back down. Maybe test these lines. Come back up. So this would be our confirmation of a lower high. We already have our lower low, and we already talked about market structure. This will give us our lower high. If you are bearish and you are overwatered and you are not feeling the best after these corrections, then this is where you would want to look to exit or take profit, or at least take some of your money, de-risk off the table. And that's, again, going to be right around the 51K level. That's assuming we do get a strong bounce and we get back above 41K. Then if we do get it back above 41K, we most likely will try to push and not put in that lower high. But that's where you want to be looking out for. That's a high area of concern. Alrighty, so now that we know those high areas of concern, again, I'll call them out just to be easy. You can have your limit order set all the way down to around 19,000. If you're super bearish, if you think we're going to bounce here, I would say this is kind of where I'm more so leaning to, bounce around 30, 31K, even now at 35K. We look at the fear and greed index, we're at a 10 or 11, which is very low. The RSIs on almost all markets have bottomed out. All crypto assets have bottomed out, meaning the relative strength index for those have bottomed out. What's up, JT? What's up, Taylor? My guy, shout out. Oh, by the way, if you guys are on here, you will be entered to win a giveaway at the end. So please remind me of that. You will be entered to win a giveaway at the end of this. Okay, give me 1 second here. All right, so 35 to 30K right now. I think we're going to get a bounce. If we close above 41K, that would be great. Look for us to push up to about the 51K. If we can break above 51K and start closing consistently above that, then we can start thinking that things are in the clear. But again, if we don't make it above that 51 to 52K and we get rejected and come back down, that would again confirm our lower high. So we would have a lower low and a lower high, and that would not be good for the long term. I would probably try to de-risk at that point as well and take some money off the table. So now that we know that, what are we going to be trying to get into today, or relatively soon? I'm not saying buy these today, but projects that I think could possibly start to decouple from Bitcoin going forward. Right now, the NASDAQ and cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin, are highly correlated. There's a chart where every time the NASDAQ drops, Bitcoin drops as well. JT, you good? My guy. Bitcoin drops as well. So we need to decouple from that, right? We need to have assets in our portfolio that are not so much concerned or worried about what Bitcoin is doing, they're still going to hold up well. Okay, how do we find these assets? How do we find assets that could possibly decouple from Bitcoin? Well, we need to look into active users, right? What blockchains and what dApps, decentralized applications, are being used the most? Where is the money flowing? One of the tools I really like to use, you can find it in the description below, is dApp Radar. And I've talked about dApp Radar previously, but on dApp Radar, you can come in here and you can come to the ranking section. And this will give you the rankings in a few different categories here. I think it's balance of their treasury, the amount of users they have, the volume that's coming in and out of their smart contracts, and the activity platform. So I like to come to dApp Radar. I like to click, boom, boom, my guy. I like to click on the 30-day. And then I like to sort. Sometimes you have to refresh. Sometimes it'll be a little bit wonky, as they say. It is a lot of data that's coming into these platforms. So let's refresh right here. All right, it looks like we're good. So we're sorted by users. The most users going down first. Obviously, this first one is an ad, so we're not concerned about that one. So we got PancakeSwap with 3.9 million users. So obviously, PancakeSwap is a very big DEX, decentralized exchange, right? I have a video on my YouTube called How to Use a DEX. Maybe I'll try to add it in here. On that video to show you how to swap in and out of different assets. Most of you guys know, but some people are new. So if you need to, check that out, how to use a DEX. But again, we have the most users here. So let's scroll down, find projects that have users, because if people are actively using that platform, then when the money comes back into the market, those are going to be recovering a lot quicker. And they will have downside, but maybe some mitigated downside because there's people actively on there interacting with that ecosystem. Alrighty, so Axie Infinity, most people know, right? They have 661,000 monthly users. Their balance is $2.3 billion in their treasury. One that is not on the radar, at least this just popped on my radar, is Bomb Crypto. It's a Binance Smart Chain game, play to earn game. $7.9 million as their balance, so still relatively low. 643,000 monthly active users. So let's go ahead and click on that, and now we get to look at their kind of profile breakdown. So again, we have the 24, 7, and 30-day. We go to the 30-day. We see here 643,000 monthly active users. They've done 5.9 million transactions, 5.9 million transactions into their smart contract, $185 million over the past month. And I believe, yeah, the value of all the total assets in their smart contract. So they have $7.9 million locked up. So what do we do now, right? Once we see, okay, this is on my radar, right? It's a token that I haven't heard of. I know it has users, and we can even see on this little historical chart, we can go to their all-time chart. Let's block out the volume, block out the transactions. And now we see from October till now, look at the increase in users, right? People have steadily been using this platform. That's a good sign, meaning that even though we've been in this bearish market, we've been in a downtrend for some time, especially since that December 4th crash. And then more recently, obviously, these current crashes, you can see a correction in the users here, but it comes right back up. People are still using these platforms. So what's the next step we take? Very simple. We come to the Google version of crypto, which is either going to be CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, right? This is your Google of crypto. This is how you Google and find your crypto assets. Now, for the newer projects, they may not be listed on here. We'll get to how to find those as well. But for most of them, you can find them on here. All right. So we come to our Google for crypto, right? And we go back, we say, oh, what was that? What was it again? It was Bomb Crypto. So then we just go ahead and type in the token name, aka the ticker, which is Bcoin. Come up here, we type in Bcoin. Boom. All right. And now you have you can see a little bit better idea of what's going on. So first thing I'm looking for is their fully diluted valuation, $247 million. Not absolutely crazy, but it is up there. Market cap, 53 million. So I would say still relatively small cap. It's right around $50 million. That's not absolutely huge when you look at other gaming projects, obviously. Let's go ahead and look at their max chart. So you can see the price did correct. This is something that should stand out to everyone. This is something that should stand out, right? Why? Because look at the user chart. They have consistently been growing and growing and growing users, but their token, and if we look at the date, so let's go November 28th. So and then we come here and we look at November 28th, which was right around here. So you can see November 28th, it did start to have a little bit of a dip in users, but then in the middle of December, it picks right back up and it goes right back up, right? And now look at the token. The token hasn't quite done that yet. The price of the token was all the way at $8. It has came all the way down to around, what is it now? $2.50, $2.46, got all the way down to $2, and it hasn't fully recovered yet. I'm not saying go buy this project. I personally don't own this project, but this is how you would do your research to find projects that they still have active users, and maybe they did get hit because of the dump, but they should recover quickly. So let's talk about a few more tokens that are similar to that. Alrighty, so that was the first one, Bcoin. Now let's go back to DappRadar, and I'm gonna skip some here because I already have some I picked out, but you can do the same thing and you can create your own list of tokens that you like, right? So Bomb Crypto was the first one that one of the first ones we looked at. We keep coming down. We see Magic Eden, which is a marketplace on Solana. It still has 31,000 active users per month. That's not bad, right? They're doing almost $12 million in monthly transactions. That's not too bad. They have people actively using it. So if we try to find the price of Magic Eden, let's do the same thing. We come here, go to our Google Crypto, look up Magic Eden. Uh-oh, might not be on here. Let's see. All right, so they don't have the ticker on here. So I know they might have a token out, which would be pretty cool. Okay, so we could find this token, name a few different ways, but we're not going to go into them. It's beyond the scope of this, so we'll go do that in another video. Let's go back, keep scrolling. Alrighty, DeFi Kingdoms. This is who I was looking to get to, and a few notable other ones here. We have Trader Joe, 25,000 monthly active users, so people are still using that DEX. It got down to I think like 80 cents, which, in my opinion, was a very, very, very large buy sign. You have Katana on Ronin, and DeFi Kingdoms is the next one I want to mention. So DeFi Kingdoms is kind of like a play to earn, but it also incorporates a game with DeFi. So they call it gamify. So you're doing things, the same things that you would be doing on a DeFi platform, but you have little characters and NFTs and games to make it more interactive to kind of keep you on that platform. Now let's look at their all-time here. We go to their all-time stats and we do the same thing. Let's remove the volume, remove the transactions, and we're going up and to the right. Remember, we started this call talking about market structure. You know, that applies here as well. You can see we're going up and to the right. That's how you want charts to look that you're invested in, up and to the right. So the users have continued to grow. We had a super high run up in users. And then we had a big crash, most likely during the Bitcoin correction, and we're still stable, kind of trailing off a bit, but I have a lot of faith in this project. Alrighty, so they still have 163,000 monthly active users, 20,000 per day, right? They're doing 284,000 transactions per day, about $34 million per day. So obviously people are still using this platform. Now Jewel is the token name for here. So we come to DeFi Kingdoms, we type in Jewel. We get a little bit more information of what's going on with them. They do have $4 billion in fully diluted. So you know that is a very high fully diluted market cap. For anybody that's new and not fully sure what fully diluted market cap is, again, the current price times the max supply. So you see here the max supply that'll ever be out times the current price will give you the fully diluted market cap. So this is a token, if you come back, it's down more than 50%. Down 61% from its all-time high. And you can see it was just moving up and to the right, up and to the right. And then what happened? The Bitcoin correction happened. It fell with it. It's almost back to these levels around $6, $7, which I would say is probably another buy sign because, again, it still has monthly active users. And obviously, you guys kind of get where I'm going with this, right? You come to DappRadar, you find projects that seem interesting. This is only part of the homework. This isn't everything. Obviously, you need to make sure they have users, make sure that their tokenomics line up, make sure that there's not a heavy amount of VCs that are going to dump the token all over you, that the token unlocks, like the highest token unlocks have already happened. These are just a few keys, to pick up as you go. Alrighty, so let's talk about the last few projects I wanted to get into, and then we will hop into this giveaway. Crabata, CRA, again, a lot of high active users still. The price did take a dump, again, along with Bitcoin. The reason why we like it, because of the monthly active users. And if we go to their platform really quick, I wasn't actually planning on pulling this up, but let's pull it up and just see some of their numbers in their marketplace here. We go into their marketplace and it looks like I have to connect to Avalanche. So give me 1 second. We go up to an overview, the last 30 days, And you can see there have been 8,000 sales of their NFT in the last 30 days for 201 million tokens, $499 million. And yeah, I mean, that lets you know right there, people are still actively using and playing this game. It's pretty fun. It's similar to Axie Infinity as well. You can make passive income by holding some of these. This is not a deep dive on Crabata, but I did want to mention it. Also, another gaming token. Does it have a bunch of active users? Yes. I won't even pull it up here, but they have a bunch of active users still currently. Let's check their price. Was their price impacted by Bitcoin? Looks like yes, right? Obviously, it was at an all-time high of $11 just on January 6th, so about 2 weeks ago, and currently it's down to about $4. So down 71%. So this is down 71%. Crabata has been holding up fairly well, but from its all-time high, it's still down 73%. And then DeFi Kingdoms, from its all-time high, down 61%. These are all projects that still have a lot of active users, but that are currently down in market cap. So I would highly suggest checking some of those out. All right, so let me go ahead and check the chat really quick. What's a good amount of users that piques your interest? Well, it just depends, right? So if I'm looking at that, great question, Jay. If I'm looking at this and I want to see, you know, who has the, let me do this here. If I see that Axie Infinity has 94,000 monthly active users and I know it's the #1 game out, then #1 game in terms of market cap, then I want to have, something comparable to that. I want to be doing numbers similar to the #1 game out, because that'll give me confidence, right? That'll give me confidence that it can challenge some of the other ones. So Bomb Crypto has about 40,000 compared to Axie Infinity's 94,000. But now let's look at the price difference between the two, right? So it has half the users, but it's growing its users. And if we look at the market cap of this Bomb coin, which is about 54 million, and then we look at the market cap of Axie, is 3.6 billion. So you see there's a lot of room to run. There's a lot of room to run with some of these smaller projects that do have active users. Now, obviously, you need to practice your risk management. You don't need to put in more than you can afford to lose. But what I'm saying is that you can find a nice list of these types of projects and start dollar cost averaging, right? Or putting in, $50, like I said, every week. That's dollar cost averaging. And that way you build up a small position. And then when everyone comes back into the market and those users are still there, and not only are they there, but they're growing because more people are coming into the market, you'll already have positioned yourself to be in a winning position, right? So that's what I would highly, highly suggest looking into and possibly doing for yourselves, because I think that'll probably give you some of the best returns. So again, this has has a regular market cap of 3.6 billion. And the Bomb coin that we looked up only had 54 million. Let's look at a few others. Crabata has a total market cap right now 52 million, again, compared to 3.6 billion. Crypto Raiders, 22 million compared to 3.6 billion. So you see how you have a lot of room to run. And so Molly asked another good question: does Bitcoin affect the majority of them? So we touched on this at the beginning, right? We're looking to fill our portfolios with assets that are going to be able to decouple from Bitcoin. And our best bet to find assets that will decouple from Bitcoin are assets that still have active users, especially daily active users in, the 25 to 40,000 or more. That is like a great sign, because there's still going to be people using their economy. And again, if we can get into their economy while everyone's head is turned and they're worried about what Bitcoin is doing, then we can build our position. And when everyone comes back, these should do very, very well. And there's a lot of gaming projects out there like this. Like if we come into CoinGecko and then we go to the categories tab. Thanks for that question, Molly. We go to the categories tab and then we scroll down to the play to earn or to the GameFi. Where's play to earn at? Metaverse play to earn. There we go. So this is another way that you can start building your list, right? So we sort by the market cap. And then we have the highest market caps. And now we want to compare these. We want to find projects that have the same statistics or close to statistics to Axie, Sandbox, and Decentraland that have far less market caps, right? What's something that's similar to Axie Infinity? It has active users. It has good gameplay. It is doing sales through its NFTs, but the market cap is not $3.6 billion because we already missed the boat on that one. Well, my comparison to that would be Krabata. And if you just do slight homework on it and you go into their marketplace, you can see that their gameplay, you can come to their marketplace or you can just read their docs. If you pull up their website, they should have a docs tab and like their white paper, their tokenomics. You can read the documents on here. You can see how the gameplay is very, very similar, how the tokenomics are structured for when it comes out. And then you can make a very educated decision. Hey, this is very similar to Axie Infinity. It does have active users. It has people currently trading over, what was it, $200 million, $400 million of their NFTs monthly, right? And the market cap of it is 10 times less, 1,000% less. So that just makes a lot of sense. So yes, Bitcoin will have an effect on the market. And that's what we were saying. The users were still going up. When we look here at the blockchain, I'm sorry, at DappRadar, excuse me. And we look at some of their user statistics. When we get rid of the volume, we get rid of the transactions and we put it on the all time or even on the 30-day chart. You can see users were steady. The users are still going up. And as users were going up, we saw the price of this come down. Let's pull this back up. Ooh, it's getting a little warm in here, boy. Tell you what. Alrighty, and then we see here if we pull up the max chart. So during that same time that we had this fall from end of November till now, the users were actually increasing during this time, or at least staying consistent, right? So even though people were leaving the overall crypto market cap, the funds were going out of the market cap, people were still playing this game. And that is why we're looking for assets that can decouple from Bitcoin. And how are they going to decouple? They have to have something that is going to either change the world or give them a reason to still be using it. So if you can earn money playing this game, Krabata, right? There's people that are earning $2,000 to $8,000 or more dollars per month in passive income just from owning these NFTs. And when you own one of the NFTs, you can have someone else rent the NFTs out from you to go battle. They can earn money during their battle, which you get a portion of, and you get paid out for people renting them. Right? So that's causing people to continue to play. It's causing passive income. It's causing users to stay. And we have to, I mean, a smart move here would be to find assets that do similar things to that. Because if people are still playing this game, then this specific token will still recover well. So yeah, just wanted to touch on that. So are there any other questions? Let me see here in the chat. Let me see. So Terry said, can you cover Gala? Yeah, Gala Games. So Gala Games, the reason why I don't do talk about Gala Games so much on the videos is because it's really big, right? When we look at the market cap, it's a very safe play. When we come back here, and again, right now we're in the category section and we're in the play to earn categories, right? And now we sort by market cap. So we have the highest market cap, and usually highest market cap correlates to the safest assets because it has the most money in them. And so you can see Axie, Sandbox, Decentraland, Gala, right? So Gala has $1.4 billion in market cap already. I think it's still really good. I think it will appreciate in price. But when we're talking about trying to find something that's going to give us very high returns and kind of outdo it a little bit, we want to look for a little bit more risk. Is what I was showing here. Obviously, everything is super risky. You guys got to make the decisions for yourself. But Gala Gaming is going to be a platform, right? So it's going to have more than just one game. So if you don't want to just bet on one game, I would suggest maybe you get into something like Gala Games. And they kind of have like a basket of games that they're going to have on their platform. And you're going to be able to play these regular games on their platform, but be able to get paid out in their tokens. They also have a node service, a NAS, where you can run nodes as a service through Gala Games, which is really cool. There's a tab for it right up there. You guys can check out. But if you just come in here, you can check out their different types of games that they're going to have on here. Their store, their games tab. And you'll be able to play these different games. So imagine like, instead of just owning Krabata, you would own Gala Games, and now you have a whole basket of these different games. So obviously, as they do well, you'll do well, as also. So yeah, that's why I like Gala Games a lot. They have a high market cap, so they're a little bit safer. They've already kind of proven themselves, and they have more so that basket style of game, so it gives you more diversity. Another one I like is called Chain Games, because Chain Games takes regular games and allows you to play them on their platform, and they pay you out in crypto for playing regular games. So I thought that was really, really cool as well. Alrighty. So any other questions on anything else that we talked about? Again, We talked about the Fed meeting that's coming out Tuesday or Wednesday. Let's hear what they say. If there's good news, we could see a possible recovery in the market. If there's more bad news, then we could probably see more of a drop in the market. And the more of the drop in the market, the places where I'm looking for the next bounce, if we don't bounce here, I'm hoping we bounce here. If not, that would be around 30, 31K. On the bottom side, 27K. On the lower side, 19, 20K. And the reason why I think that is, again, it's just looking back on the weekly. It shows these are places of imbalance, right? There's a lot of wicks right here. That's imbalance coming down. There was a little bit of support right here. So if we look closer on a daily, we can probably see that a little bit better. So you see that little area of support here. We got support up here, and then we got support right here. So these are the areas that I'm looking for, the important areas: 19, 31, 41. And then if we get back above, if we go from here back above 41, that would be absolutely excellent. If we can get back above 52, then we're starting to get into that lower high situation where, again, a lower high confirms that we're most likely going to see more downside. So Tay said, are you going to save it so I can rewatch? Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's on my live. So when you go to the Buttwoodger YouTube, also, if you guys could, man, subscribe to my Substack. If you just type in Buttwoodger Substack, it'll pop right up, just like you do here. When you come to YouTube, you type in Buttwoodger. And then a lot of people, I think, get kind of confused when they're on here. They'll be like, oh, I couldn't find your video. I couldn't find the video that you were saying about. Sometimes you just have to click the videos and then the live portion, right? So sort by, there's uploads right here, and you can change uploads to live or past live streams. And then that'll show you some of the other videos that you may not be seeing just pop up regularly. So, I do go live a lot instead of just posting the regular video. So sometimes you just got to change that or to all videos instead of uploads. And then you'll be able to find it there, my guy. All right. So let's do this. Let's do this giveaway. So I own the Galaxy Fight Club. And if you own a Galaxy Fight Club NFT, then you were just airdropped Gcoin. Gcoin is the token for Galaxy Fight Club. And I was airdropped some. So I'm going to go ahead and share that wealth and send some to you guys. So let's go ahead and turn on the wheel of names. Oh, I can't spell. Wheel of names. Boom. Wheel of names random picker. All right, man, put your names in the chat. If your names aren't in the chat, then I won't be able to add your names to the wheel. So I'm just assuming that you don't want to be in there, which is all good, Let me find out how to make sure that I can, 1 second. I don't think I'm getting all the comments. Are the names in the chat? Are the names in the chat, baby? Damn, I've been on here for 42 minutes. Okay, here we go. Pause that. All right, so we got T Coder. Where's my, oh, here it is. Ooh. We got T Coder. We got Fitte. We got Corey W. We got Keon. We got Jason Taylor. We got Chris Ramsey. We got Terry Kane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, we got 7. Anybody else? Okay, Barry's gonna let somebody else win. What a shout out. What a stand-up guy. You know how he gets down. That's my guy. Molly. Okay, let me add Molly really quick. Boom. And remember, guys, I'm not a rich man, but when the market's down, right, you got to remember that it's not all about the money. Honestly, if you can learn this stuff more, it's way more important than the money. We got Dago. Who else we got? Anybody else? We'll do the last call. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm assuming that's it. All right, so Dago's our last one. Cool. Oh, Noah slid in there with the buzzer beater. Turn around fade type, John. I see you. All right. Noah Pete, got you. All right, so let's go ahead and spin this wheel. Everyone's name is on here. T Coder, Fitte, Corey, Keon, Jason Taylor, Chris, Terry, Molly, Dago, Noah. All right. So we're gonna spin it one time. Whoever wins, since you didn't win the one the other day, I'm gonna let this slide. And let you get on here. All right. So if you're not in the Discord, make sure you hit me up in the Discord and let me know that you won. I know most of you guys, but just in case. All right, so let's go ahead and spin that, John. I'm spinning with my hands up. Looks like Terry. Hey, shout out T Kane. Yeah, T Kane. We don't need no auto-tune on this, John. All right, Terry. So you won. Dang, Jordan, you didn't even enter. Wow, man. All right, guys. So hopefully you got a little bit out of that. Hopefully it lifts everyone's spirits, makes everyone kind of realize it's not all coming to an end. Keep an eye out for those areas that we spoke about. Watch out for the higher lows. If we get the higher low confirmation, then you know what to expect. I'll see most of you guys in the Discord. And then for the people that are on the Patreon, I'll either see you on the Patreon call tonight or on Tuesday night. If you want to subscribe to the Patreon, that'd be cool. If you want to like, that'd be cool. You could like the video before everyone hops off. Like, let me get that like one time. All right, y'all. Until the next one. Peace out. It's going down. It's going down. NBA Live. It's going down.